Today I'm going to be talking about advertising and recruiting in the hospitality industry. The employee turnover rate in the hospitality industry is extremely high. The rates go as high as 80%, but smaller locations keep it at about 50%, which if you really think about it is still really high. When talking about turnover rates, this indicates that more employees have worked at an establishment than there are positions available during a given amount of time. This means that human resources is spending twice as much money for recruiting and training new employees because the old ones keep on leaving. And one may ask, what is the reason that so many employees are leaving their jobs? There really are a number of reasons. One, such as that people are just unhappy with their jobs. They absolutely dread going to work every day, and their work environment is just not comfortable and not someplace they want to be. On a more serious note, the employee may have been harassed or mistreated. Discrimination about sex, religion, or ethnicity are a big problem in our industry and all around the world. And if management doesn't handle these problems properly, then we get serious problems and employees are unhappy, and there you go. Some employees may not have been qualified in the first place to take on this job. Human resources might have just hired them just to fill the position quickly, and in the end they ended up with having a more problem because they had to fire them anyways because the job was not getting done. Others just felt that it was time to move on. They didn't see their career moving on any place. They just felt that it was time to go on. They couldn't see themselves working at this company for another day. The Human Resource Department has a very difficult job. They are responsible to recruit, hire, and train the employees for the establishment. With such a large labor pool out there, the Human Resource Department uses many external recruiting techniques to find the most qualified candidates possible. Some forms of advertising they would use are such as newspaper listings, which in my opinion are the most accurate and most up-to-date to find jobs. Other ones they've used are websites such as Monster Jobs and Craigslist. Internal recruiting is also used, which is when current employees can recommend someone, and if that person passes all the tests to be qualified for the job, that current employee just saved the company a lot of money. However, many times with internal recruiting, problems arise, and the recommended candidate is never hired or does not perform well and is then eventually asked to leave. This can lead to potential problems because the person then who had recommended the potential employee gets upset because it might have been their friend or someone they had known and they didn't get the job. So in the end, a problem can occur, and that person will probably end up leaving their position as well, which leaves the company with 2 open positions that they now have to fill. Another way they can find potential employees would be to go to schools such as our own, Kendall College, and find student employees that are passionate and hardworking and willing to jump right into the industry. However, how will human resources decrease the turnover rate if such problems can arise on a daily basis? The first and foremost thing that must occur amongst all employees is they all must show respect for one another. If employees and employers have respect for one another, they have started a solid foundation for their company. If the employees and employers don't have an understanding mutual agreement such as this about respect, then the company cannot go forward strongly. Next, the Human Resources Department has to take extra time when recruiting and training employees. It may seem like a tedious task, but this could either make or break the business, because if they are constantly having to spend more money to train employees that are constantly coming in, the company won't go very far because all the money will be gone. All employees should have to receive an employee handbook stating all of the rules and regulations about the company's mission statement, and what is expected of each employee while they are on duty. Discrimination and sexual harassment should be 2 key topics covered during orientation, and employees should be constantly reminded about the consequences if such actions would ever occur. The goal of the company should be to have a safe work environment where no one feels pressured or scared or have a bad feeling about coming to work every day. The workplace should be fun, but should still be kept professional. However, the mood at work should be a fun environment. One way to make it fun would be to have all employees dress up for Halloween and then have the customers that come in that day to vote on the best Halloween costume. The incentive would say, let's say for that day would be a free bottle of wine for whoever would get the most votes. This is a good idea because this will get all the employees involved in a fun way to have fun. Or one can, on a specific any particular night, you can have employees have a small competition saying who could sell the most desserts or who can sell the most bottles of wine, and have an incentive such as having a day off or something like that, just to keep some fun competition going. With all of the hard work and stress that comes with our business, some good clean fun is necessary, otherwise we would go crazy. Some light competition amongst the employees is also a good strategy because they will be striving their best to win whatever the prize may be that day. The service will be good and customer satisfaction will be good as well. It's a win-win for everyone. The hospitality industry is constantly changing and employees come and go for whatever reason they may have. However, for whatever reason they leave, it should never be because of a hostile work environment or a dull one for that matter. Employees that are hired should be skilled and passionate about their job. To also help improve your establishment, when an employee is leaving, you can have an exit interview. During the time, you would ask the reason for their leaving and how they felt overall their working environment was. And they can also periodically, you can take employee surveys and ask if there are any problems that need to be addressed right away, and if employees feel if management is doing their part. I hope I have told you everything about advertising and recruiting that you may want to know. Thanks.